It's Roger once again, a very interesting encounter. Talking about Mud Fossil University. Happened to be in an area where I was not among like minds, let's put it that way. Now, and I was more or less questioned about how I could be putting out such terrible information that was not true and it couldn't possibly be true and so forth. And I asked them why they felt that there was no validity in the things I was saying. And it started out right out with about creation, and I'm trying to push God, and God doesn't do science, and da da da. And I said, whoa. I said, wait a minute. I said, I'm doing science. Nothing to do with God here. You know, the science part is science. I said, the God part is just God. I mean, that's what it is. That's what the texts say and so forth. And of course, that brought laughter to the house. So, of course, I was assaulted for my credentials, which are very limited. I was in the business world. I dealt with reality every day of my life. I owned my own businesses, and I was successful. I didn't have to cow down to anyone, and I never had to back down from anyone, and I never will back down from anyone. So it evolved from there. Now, let me just explain a couple other things. All right, this is biology. It is not pornography. It is biology and geology, and that is a cave that is it's a Thracian cave. I believe it's in Bulgaria, Romania. I'm not absolutely certain, but it was an ancient place of worship, and it is a human body part from a giant woman. It's a giant vagina. Now, you say, oh, no, they carved that. It's erosion. I've had all these big scientists and geologists, and then they walk away. No, absolutely not. You see that little tiny seam that runs right up the center there, that little tiny split? That is the abdominal cavity seam, which I just showed you a moment ago. So, obviously, the anatomy is what it looks like, and this seam, nobody put that little tiny seam in the stone and said, oh, let's make a crack in the whole mountain. No, absolutely not. And there are lots of these because there was lots of giant women. All right, there's another one. There's a guy standing out there. That's that little tiny split. That is what separates your abdominal cavity after you dry out. These are all products of the Great Flood. Salt water causes the bones to dissolve, and it preserves the flesh as mud fossils. I'm sorry, this is what it is. And it's time to take this into reality and not demean people that actually open their eyes to examine what is in front of them. Now we're going to go into the delusion part. All right, this is what a blastula looks like. It starts to grow from a couple of cells, and it grows into a ball. And it's a round ball with a hollow area. When that hollow area, it inverts itself like that. It collapses. And then a seam seals along this particular plane, and that basically separates your body in half. When you die, and in the saltwater conditions, it invades your cells, and it breaks open cells and so forth, and it allows them to separate along this plane, and it separates your body in a tiny, tiny little crack that runs down the seam of your body. Roger once again, Mud Fossil University, today with extremely serious subject. This is how a fetus develops from a blastula stage, and as the blastula makes a ball, it crunches inside of itself and creates the abdominal cavity where all your organs grow and so forth, and that's where it seams together. They all do the same thing, and it happens at a certain cell level. Now I'm going to show you a little graphic description of it, and then another graphic description of how geology is biology. All right, delusion. What does it mean? Delusion is an idiosyncratic belief or impression, an opinion that is firmly maintained. No matter what happens, you're going to hold that opinion no matter what happens, despite being contradicted by what is generally accepted as reality, such as DNA, specimens, anatomy, chemistry, CAT scans, or rational argument, written history in the past, which is typically a symptom of mental disorder. All right? Delusion. So who's deluded? Who is deluded? I'm going to tell you a story that you're going to hardly believe. And the reason I'm talking about this is because the people that are deluded are the ones that are demeaning the people that are not deluded. And I'm going to give you, every day I get people sending me stuff. I'm being abused by my family for thinking this way. And I've had it for 6 years. Not a single person in my family, not one, has seen one single one of my videos. I have hundreds of videos. They all know what I'm doing. I don't bother to interact much anymore because I'm dismissed and demeaned and thought of as the fool of the family now. So everybody else is in the same boat. That's why this is so slow to move forward. And I don't really care. And the ones that are alive and awake and understand and see the reality of what is presented to them and are able to stand above it and allow people to say whatever they want and tell them to go screw themselves. And that's what I'm saying to you people. All right? You don't want to watch? Have a good time. Go away. All right? I'm not going to go deluded for you because you say, oh, I'm so smart, I read a whole bunch of books, I'm a PhD. It means nothing to me, absolutely nothing. It means to me that you have the same exact mentality as a flat earth person. A flat earth person says, I could show you absolutely that the earth from the space station is round. I'm not going to look, the space station is not real. Space isn't real. Satellites aren't real. I say to academics, I can prove to you the things I'm showing are real. I have this, I have that, I have DNA, I have CAT scans, I have chemistry, I have specimens. No, I'm not going to look, it's not real, it can't be. You're both deluded in the most in extreme way. And anyone that refuses to allow reality to penetrate to them for a predisposed opinion, for a impression, for a firmly maintained, despite being contradicted, they're delusional. So I'm saying to you people right now, I am not delusional. I am looking at what is presented to me. I am reading what was written in the past about the myths and all this stuff that we've always laughed at. I'm looking at the chemistry. I'm looking at the history. I'm looking at the specimens. I'm looking at the anatomy. I'm looking at the physiology. I'm contacting anatomists. I have CAT scans and DNA. So I am not the one that are deluded. The ones that will not pay attention to this are deluded. And I'm going to read you something right now. I'm not going to show who it was from, but I get these every day. People, and again, my family has paid no attention whatsoever, and I have lost literally every true connection to the people that were my family because they've demeaned and degraded me, and everything turns silent when I show up, so I don't show up anymore. So let me read to you this is another one that came in today, but they come in literally daily, sometimes multiple daily accounts of this. And it is the deluded people are the ones that are the forcers that other peoples have to be deluded. That's what happens with the flat earthers. You got to be deluded. You got to, no, you can't. They attack me for anything that I present that doesn't show the earth is flat. Obviously the earth's not flat. I'm never going to say the earth is flat. So they're going to attack me for this one. Absolutely no question. No question whatsoever. I am here to show you what is reality. If you can't accept reality, that's fine. Go away. I don't care. Go into your own universe, your own reality. It doesn't bother me at all. But come attacking me, and the same thing in academics, attacking my work that shows God is real and Jesus is what he was just exactly what is advertised. I have evidence. I have evidence. You people just have dismissive attitudes. Okay, again, I don't want you to feel sorry for me because I don't feel sorry for myself. I feel grateful to the people that did dismiss me and demean me because I would have walked away from this long ago. I tried to hand this off to Yale and Harvard and everybody. They demeaned me, dismissed me, called me creationist. You know, really, it was a very, very, very bad memory, let me put it that way. Now, but if they had not done that, I could never have gotten to the point that I am at now and understanding the reality of this whole situation. So thank you, Yale specifically, because they were the ones that really just walked away from everything, as far as I'm concerned. They were the ones, Professor Derek Briggs, I mean, he was the one down there that just refuses, he still refuses to take any consideration of mud fossils. I mean, you know, how much can you, how delusional can you get? It's my opinion of his abilities is he's delusional to not even want to consider this whatsoever. I mean, this is his profession. This is what he's trying to convey to other people, that his ideas are correct. And if you can't take into account anything else that's being said that has valid support, that backs it up 100%, how can you possibly be considered credible in your profession? I mean, it's just mind-boggling. But he's not exceptional. This is systemic. Systemic. You cannot go against your peers in this business. And you can't go against your family. You can't go against your friends. You can't go against the crowd. That is the issue. It's not necessarily exactly Professor Briggs. However, if he had stepped forward, this whole thing could have been resolved long ago. But again, Professor Briggs, thank you. I'm glad you dismissed and demeaned everything, because now it has concluded correctly. And I obviously have no thought that it would have ever concluded correctly had it been taken through the academic realm. So, thank you all. Now, what I got today was another dispirited person that has been looking into this, understands what they see, and has tried to convey it to the people around them, has been assaulted. And here's what happened. I think he went on about a few things and how he's interested in all these things. It's fabulous, so forth. Then he says, I have tried to show some of your work to people who have more university degrees than sexual encounters. And I've been told not to waste my time with crazy conspiracy stories. I am even getting some snide remarks because I am looking at the information which you have given on YouTube. Because he's looking at it, just looking at it, and he's, oh, you're looking at YouTube. You know, like, what, they read books from some old guy that wrote books that was wrong. And they think they're smarter than everybody because they read a whole bunch of books and listened to somebody tell them what to think. All right? And he says, my heart of hearts is telling me that I'm on the right track, but my family and friends, I am losing fast. I know it goes fast, and you cannot help but be affected by it emotionally. It's an emotional roller coaster ride when you find this, because nobody will take this from you. Nobody, and they will look at you like there's something wrong with you. But you know that you're right. And you know you have the facts. And you try to present it to them, they will not look. And when they look, their eyes will not even be open. All right? And then he goes on about, even in the Bible it tells about giants. I'm told it was exaggeration, all this business. And then he goes on and the people just won't look. So that's my statements about deluded people. Now, if you want just to be a rational, normal human being that's supposed to be looking for facts and truth, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. I don't care what you have to say. You can read all you want if you're reading something that's nonsense. Absolute nonsense now. It's proven to be nonsense. And you can stay in your deluded little worlds and pay those academic professors thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I see a horrifying story. Kids sitting there, say, I got $200,000 in student loan debt. I can't afford anything. These kids are committing suicide from this stuff. It's turned into a scheme, a scam. Very, very shameful. And not to pay attention to the things that are presented as truth against what is presented as guesses I can't even imagine how they can just sit around and think how credible they feel they are. Very, very distressing world that we live in, as a matter of fact.